Harvard College the year rotated downward more than rather than 95% of such who attached. But which is a equitable framework for decisive who should be discarded and who should be the happy few to get a location? Which should the success 5% see love? Should it fair be such in the highest academia authorities? Or would it be fairer to provide a more than various ethnical and public mixture? The admissions politics of the flagman U.S. college is cladding a legislative problem that began the 1 week in Boston, in accusations of race prejudice versus Asiatic Americans. And he's a controversy how will be monitored thoroughly by some above subscribed universities about the planet. In the UK, top universities such as Oxford include been criticized for recruitment to few ethnical minority group students. But the legislative problem versus Harvard shows how the reason can be more than facility. The year, on 52% of Harvard's new students are of ethnical sexual minorities, but the complainants say if accession was solved on grades 1, the ratio of Asiatic American students would be high, and the admissions framework makes it facilitating for dark, Latin American and white students to get a location. Asiatic Americans are on 6% of the U.S. people, so they are the largest above-represented ethnical team in Harvard. But the complainants say down there is an unofficial framework of race balance to cap any future growth in their numbers. They complained how more than personal components of the accession trial, such as evaluating and claimant's identity, are utilized to mark downward Asiatic Americans. By the flag of Students for Equitable Admissions, they are inviting for racing to be remote as a element in admissions. Proverb how the ethnic origin of applicants should not each assist or damage chances of accession. Harvard firmly denies any allegation of injustice. It says how racing is a element amongst lot and the ratio of places obtained by Asiatic American students has rising by more than rather than a block with 2010. The college has protected the fairness of which it telephone call a racing deliberate framework, as it sifts via 42,000 applications to do on 2,000 giving. And student, Sally Chen, anticipated to offer evidence, will claim how university's requirement to get racing in expense to know whose experiences, and he's a politics how helps outdoor the doorway to all students of color. But the instance raises greater questions of which is equitable in ultra-competitive college admissions. Elitists' universities are not just on academia top accomplishment. Seen as a start pad for careers in industry, policy, or the professions, they include be gatekeepers for public promotion. That has put blood pressure on them to be at the identical period both of academically exceptional and social including. As a outcome, lot college accession system see at a band of public factors, as so as academia capacity. In the UK, the is frequently named quite noncommittally as contextual admissions. In the US, the largest contentious dimension of admissions has frequently been ethnic origin. With the civilian rights motion in the 1960s, down there include been telephone call for positive activity, support broad college accessing for ethnical minority group students. Harvard has ever protected its order to believe racing as portion of an all-round type of candidates. But the newest complaint is not on the kind of historic attempts by sexual minorities to share a complaint in whites-dominated institutions. Instead of, it is a minority group team pretending how several applicants are unjustly loser out on places since of the efforts to support variety amongst some sexual minorities. The court fight is creature seen as portion of a broad culture fight on racing and sameness in the U.S. Some universities, and several Asiatic American campaigners, are pad up to supporting Harvard, their opponents are deprecating in banners support CEO Trump card. All sides will be observer to see if the legislative and policy land is driving. Harvard argues how it has seen off reiterated legislative challenges to its admissions politics above the many decades and how the order to believe in claimants racing has been upheld in subsequent rulings. The trial instance, heard out of a jury trial, is wide anticipated to include its received information disputed at circulation. If it comes up the high trial, the balance sheet has displaced and Brett Kavanaugh's assignment could include a future importance for else separating question.